It's Mailman of the South here, and actually, I do need to check my. Okay, this needs to be below the 60, I think. And so, what you guys might be hearing is actually, turn this. Okay, alright. So you might hear some Monster Hunter music in the back, but I'm getting ready to switch to Mega Man 11. I have the digital version and the physical, but I have the digital installed at the moment, so. And will be responded to. Um, Let me send out my notification. Alright. Oh no, what just happened? Okay, there we go. It did work. What? Okay, I don't think my Elgato. Oh, I know why it's not working. My headphones are on. Give me a second. I know this is basic scrub stuff, but I don't really have an Elgato chat link, so I have to either play it through my TV and listen through it, because I'm used to wearing these headphones, right? Because I use it on PC. But okay, actually, I should just take the headphones out. That'll solve the problem, and then you guys can hear the game, which is really all I'm really worried about. Not that I'm gonna have it that loud. And as far as this goes, this will be below the 60. This will be below the 60, and I think my mic is just fine. See, I can't help but put these on. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna lay that right there. It's still connected to the PC, but I'm gonna turn the monitoring down just in case I get like an alert or something. It doesn't like double back into the stream. So I think we're a go. Let's remove the waiting image. All right. Alright, so here we are, Mega Man 11. So the whole point of this stream was to give my opinions on it for maybe an hour, if it even takes that long. We're already 2 minutes in after setup, and we're just getting started, so that's not too much time wasted. But um, generally, this is how I play every Mega Man game. So I usually boot up a new game every time I play, except for the first time around, because I kind of want to know what's going on, which was perfect for this game because apparently some stuff happens post game, like in terms of the shop items being unlocked. But this is my first problem right here. Even though it does have a highlighted normal, I feel like the normal mode is still too hard, but not for like balancing reasons. It's just like the level length and stuff like that. Like it's like the difficulty pushes you further than normal mode would on a traditional Mega Man game. And I generally don't look at the story. The story's fine. We're gonna skip that. We're gonna skip Double Gear 2. That's pretty much the main gimmick of the game is the time stop mechanic. And um, I usually vary these. So I vary these every time. I just play I just boot the game up. But if I was just going off of hype like I normally do, my favorite level is Torchman. From what I remember, it's been a while since I played this. But Torchman had a lasting impression on me. It never felt like it was too hard, too long. Like it had that sort of difficulty that kept you coming back. Okay, that's not such a good start. That was my own fault though. I forgot those things exploding. But yeah, okay. Let me get this out of the way. Graphics are impressive. This is probably one of the best 2D to new generation games out there. This is how you would turn a 2 point, well, a 2D into a 2.5D style without sacrificing any of the style for it. Like this, it looks just like it looks like the artwork came off the paper versus you know the Z-axis completely destroying that imagination. You know what I mean? I feel like this hits the mark, and then it has that dynamic lighting of the new games while keeping the cartoon stuff intact. So graphics are like S rank for me. Things in terms of like level design, I think that's the biggest issue I have. It's not the depth stuff; it's the scaling, or like how the rooms are amateurly made. I'll give you an example in a minute. Like everything right here just seems fine. Like I said, dynamic lighting effects looks cool. I don't find the game like difficult from a Mega Man standpoint. It's difficult for patched reasons. The whole game to me feels like a patched version of Mega Man. What worked in the old Mega Man games as a veteran won't work anymore. So you gotta find out new ways to cheese the game. And I feel like they had that like in mind when they were making this, and that's kind of what makes it not fun when the game gets patched out like a fighting game. A fighting game makes sense because you eventually like bust that game wide open. I'm not saying that this game has patches or anything, but that's how it feels on like when you first play it. Now, if you notice, I'm not really using double gear. I'm just playing it like I would normally play a Mega Man game. And even though we don't have the slow mo walk anymore, or the boss room door slow walk, you still got the screen jumps. So those are cool, I guess. Yeah, like right here, it seems like they were like Mega Man has to be responsible because the way that these rooms are set up. Yeah, I got cheesed right there. It looks like a game maker room to me. You know, like when you first like do one of your example projects and you start tiling the floors and everything's a square and everything. I feel like much wasn't considered when making that in those rooms. It's just like, oh, we're gonna blame the person for not using Mega Man's good controls, and it's like, no, this room is just too small. Like you'll eventually learn how to do it, like or not. You can just die like I did. All right, so this is my last shot. I honestly forgot how I used to get past this, but like instinct wise, I don't think it's fair. I feel like a game's best part is when you rely on instinct. I have a basic skill set because duh, I play other Mega Man games, but it's not utilized because the game patches out. Okay, the game patches out those aspects. I'm streaming.
Well, fire one.
Yeah, I had two of them. I had three pretzels before that.
Look on this cheese man.
Okay, let me see. Forgot what I was even talking about. But basically, if you boil it down to the stuff that I just said, and you like generalize that complaint, that would be the only problem I have with the game. Like everything else is pretty fine. I guess they wanted it to be challenging for veterans too, but I feel like that's the cheapest way to do it. I feel like the easier way out would be the well, not easier way out, but the optimal way to like make it challenging, but keeping it fresh is not like patching out the rules or patching out the base rules. You just take a spin on those rules versus like trying to take them all out to begin with, like climbing speed and stuff like that. Like just make level designs that utilize that. Or if the regular game is too easy for vets, make more content. like the special stages in Mega Man 9 and 10, or bring back old stages with this new art style. Like there's stuff you can do. Oh well, I guess that could be complaint number two. Mega Man 11 doesn't really feel like it pays attention to continuity. It's trying to be its own thing. It's like its own Mega Man 1. Like it's trying to reinvent the series from this point forward. Like the other 10 games didn't happen. I mean, he has all the abilities from the older games, but they're not like, I don't know, they're not used the same way they were then. I am losing it on that part, that same part. I could deal with an unforgiving game that's really just telling you to have like common sense. I know they want me to use the speed gear right there, but I don't want to. Okay, I finally got through it. Yeah, I don't take the bait. I can do without that E-Tank, honestly. The only game where you have to take the bait is Mega Man 2, because you can't get E-Tanks otherwise. Unless you just want to get them for free. That was a dumb death. I still got an extra life. Thought that was game over, but I'll take it. I like combat skills. I don't like patched mechanics as a challenge. I like combat skills. My favorite part of these games is utilizing the plain Mega Buster. But they're trying to redirect you away from that when that's really all you need to beat the game is good buster skills. That in tandem with like learning how the game works. They changed how the game worked though. If I really wanted to be like optimal, I would abuse speed gear, power gear, etc. And that's pretty much how speedrunners play the game. They abuse the new mechanics. I'm just saying, they're not all that fun to me. They're not really a good basis of like combat. Like I could do just fine without them. It just takes a little longer, I guess. Oh man. Oh, I forgot I wasn't supposed to kill the owl. See, I can still do those 4 tile jumps. That's kind of a cool mechanic they added in. That's from X8 though. Oh no, oh no. Yeah, I done goofed. I fell in the hole. I don't know that. What the heck? All right. What the heck? We're going to bring Concy down and do that. See, I'm forgetting that quick. I forgot about that too. There's a lot of stage information to learn, and that's not bad. I love learning about how a level works. Unless it's Bounce Man, that level sucks. And I'll tell you why. But I'll be better off giving examples than to just badmouth it right here while I'm doing Torch Man. So I'm not even gonna give y'all the pleasure. Matter of fact, I wish I would have brought the topic up earlier so I could have just went to it. I'm not against the time slowing and the overclocking Mega Man type thing. It's just like the way that they implement it is not interesting enough. I can still get away with using regular strats. I don't want them to force it on me. I want to do sick tech with it, which is what they did do. They did design it where you don't have to forcibly use it, which is a good thing. Okay, that just happened. Sparky the barbecue turkey. Oh, that's right. I forgot about his armor. I goofed. I wish you could complete the game a little bit more with the base mechanics. I feel like the special weapons are kind of like they're good, but they're so good that they're bad because it's like the team knew what players wanted out of Mega Man, and they kind of like generalized it and turned it into 8 weapons or 8 speedrun tools. 'Cause like I said, mainly just completing the game is just about learning how the Buster works against the enemies and when you can shoot, and how many times to shoot, and stuff like that. Okay, I nailed that jump that time. But yeah, this stage is hype though. To me, a lot of people are like, man, flaming walls of death, but it's like that carries the pace along. It's a longer level than the usual Mega Man, but you can't tell because the pace is so good. If they were going to do longer levels, it should have had better pacing to it. And I'm not saying force the player up because you should be able to be conservative too. That was my problem with Unlimited. You couldn't be conservative in Unlimited. Everything was so tightly tuned that you had to do it at a certain time to keep moving forward. Oh, see, I shot the owl boy. All right, let's just make him spawn back. Okay, no. Wow, I just bodied a lot of spiders. I never failed this jump like that. Okay, let's get out of here. Oh wow, I almost screwed myself just then. Like I said, this game got good pace. Like now, Mega Man and base, whether you pick base or Mega Man, Burner Man's level is just long regardless. There's nothing you can do about it unless you pick base and intentionally try to skip enemies, but that's kind of hard. Okay, that hurt. Oh, I just got drop kicked in the nose. It was hard to read that. Oh, I got I got I got 420 blaze just then. Done. Oh my gosh. So yeah, this fight is fine. Actually, I have no complaints about none of the fights. All Mega Man fights are good. Though I was just watching a Twitter clip recently showing that Blockman does nothing unless you shoot. Otherwise, he just keeps charging for it. But it's not Toad Man levels bad. Like you gotta provoke the fight to even win because you gotta do damage. Oh man, he fighting game spaced me out. I just got wrecked at full health. You know what? This would be good practice because I probably am gonna stream this game more in the future once I get more practice in and start doing full runs. But for now, we're just gonna enjoy the game. And when I get to a certain stage, I'll just commentate on it. Oh wow, if I get close enough, I don't even have to slide. I can just outspace him. And these lighting effects are so good. I think that's what makes all the difference. Okay. Yeah, see, I only got hit like twice then. It's just, I don't know. Like I said, Mega Man's movement speed and the boss battles, everything, those are decently paced, but some levels are just so long that it's just like the whole thing behind Mega Man's level design is you got a lot more with a lot less room. You don't need all this space to have good Mega Man level design. Long stages just make it harder to survive versus teaching the player a lesson. It's just being hardcore for the sake of being hardcore. Alright, I said I was going to talk about Bounce Man next. Let's talk about that. I feel like this level is a big problem. You think a physics-based stage would be interesting, but they didn't make it interesting. Oh wow. Yep, vertical section. That's how you start your level off. You know, people give Elect Man a rap for being a bad level, but it's pretty straightforward. You learn how to not get knocked off, and you just progress after that. But this game is just, I don't know. This level, I mean, because the level is what I have a problem with. Respawning enemies, sexual harassment balloon in 3, 2, 1. There you go. Alright, alright, alright. Yeah, rap. Alrighty. But yeah, it's a vertical level. That's problem number one. Problem number two is you have to wait on these hands unless you have Rush Jet. But most of the design is just, oh, if you mess up, you gotta start over. It's literally trying to waste your time. Mega Man doesn't usually do levels like that. Every placement in the level has meaning to it. Oh god. Oh, that's sick. Wait a minute. I might be able to slap myself up there. That's why these enemies are spawning right here. Yo, that's sick. Okay, I take that back. That part's not so bad. Oh yeah, this room kind of sucks. And see, look at that. Now I gotta do the whole room over. Why? I guess it doesn't waste too much time. It's just like because I know I have to start over is what makes that's what makes me mad. No, I'm gonna cheat. Whatever. Yeah. Now shoot me now. Oh wait, you can't. Unless it was NES spawn, then yeah, he would pop back up. Alright. Oh, it slaps you up from that side. That's disappointing. I mean, you can get up there without the hand. Yeah, you gotta like... I've seen it happen before. I can't really recall how I did it. Oh my god, I just walked off. Oh, I'm holding the shoot button. I need to be holding the jump button. Which is a weird rule, but it happened the first time naturally, and then I don't know what happened after that. Basically, if I was using gears, it would be over right about now. Slow down time, rapid shot. Now you're doing an exponentially amount of damage. He's dead anyway. Yeah, I think this level has got to have the cheapest combination of Mega Man tools ever. Pit spawning enemies, slow pace, long level length, cannons mounted where you can barely hit them. Okay. Okay. It was already down though. I couldn't angle it. I couldn't tell the angle. There's a lot to learn about the level, but I still feel like it's all BS. Like I never feel like I'm traversing the fun Mega Man level. I feel like I'm getting gimped. I don't know. I just don't like this level. And for it to be a bright theme part, it just has this depressing tone to me. I don't know why. Like Clown Man, I feel like Clown Man took that aesthetic as far as you can go with it. I'd love to see an HD remix of his level, by the way. Did I just get killed by one of the weakest enemies in the game? Oh, and they respawn you at the pit. Okay. Yeah, that's the room after the mini boss. Okay, yeah. But other than that, Mega Man 11 did make some necessary upgrades, like challenge mode. I mean, those were in the 8-bit. Not can't even say remix because they were original games. And Neo 8-bit games, I guess you can call them. The Neo 8-bit duology. Did I just get an E-Tank? Wait, I want to see. Nah, I missed it. Okay, I was about to say that was clutch. Oh, you gotta hit the hand and not the box. I guess it's trying to be a puzzle-oriented stage rather than just the action stage. I can respect it for that, I guess. So this ain't really too hard to figure out. I could have just rushed coiled on the other side, but I'm being honorable. That usually teaches you more about the game than trying to cheese it. But yeah, I feel like all the elements that it has, it feels like I'm playing like a Legend of Zelda chapter. We have to backtrack and figure out what to do in each room. And I don't mean that in a good way. It feels good in Zelda because they make it epic when you get an item or whatever. Like, and here it's just Mega Man. It's just like Capcom is like, yeah, we're gonna punish you for making this one mistake by starting the room all over. Oh wow. I honestly was trying to escape just to finish the level, but I'll take it. Why even bother going over there, honestly? Okay, this floor changes. Oh. Alright, so he's getting ready to pop. Oh no. If I die and I don't finish this level, I'm not coming back. Till I have to. We're 30 minutes in. We might get the 8 Robot Masters done. Depending on how much I remember about this game. Oh yeah, I'm going for it. I just thought about it. Yep. Yep. I see you, Capcom. I see you. Those pink hands are like the best thing on this level. It's harassment, but still, probably the best thing about this level. I don't even know. I don't know. I feel like completing the game is just like the most. Ooh. Ew. Yeah, I'm not coming back to that level till I have to. Where I usually go second, I'll only stomach the bad levels first just so I can enjoy the rest of the game. Oh no, 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 no. I'm so used to picking continue. No, let me leave. And worst of all, there's no death pit at the beginning. Wait. Stage select. There we go. I was like, I know there's a start button I can press on this game. Thank goodness. You would have had to commit back in the day. Alright, so I would either go block or blast. Let's go blast. Keep that fire burning. And use it to destroy freaking the people who created Bounce Man's level. Like I said, like I'm saying, this is hype. Good pacing, good reactions. These types of levels are what I'm all about. Don't try to be varied. Mega Man, just stay to your action roots. You can have puzzle elements, but I don't prefer them. For me, it's all about action or timing. Yeah, you don't need gears for that, guys. Come on. Gears are just there to help you. They're a very good mechanic for like new players. I'll give them that. It doesn't really break the game enough for me though. Like it's too perfectly balanced to the point of I might as well just play regular. Cause it's like I'm used to playing regular. I'll probably get more sick plays from without using gears. I tried to time it so he get hit. Okay, I just screwed up that timing. Like this level is sick. It's got explosions, music's hype, the gameplay is hype. Everything about this level is good. All 8 levels need to be like this. There's only one level that's so bad that I would call it a bad Mega Man level, and that would be Bounce Man. Even stages like Guts Man, where you just have to wait on tricky platforms, I don't consider them too bad. Or rather, Guts, or rather, they knew how much to implement it into. I think they need to consider tolerance when they make levels like that. Like I said, Mega Man levels are usually shorter than the ones in this game. So if you're putting up with an annoying mechanic, you usually don't have to put up with it for long. It's like it's just the excitement of figuring out what is what makes it satisfying, and doing it over and over again, and doing it better. But if you make a stage that has a bad mechanic and is long, and it's not just there for the challenge, it's just there for your endurance sake, I guess. Then then I don't know. I think it takes the player out. It takes a player like me out of interest of it. I will commend them for that enemy. He's he's back from Mega Man 2, and his weak spot is still him in the cockpit. That is so good. Yeah, the game feels way too obstacle coursey because of the length of the levels. It's like you're gonna slip up at some point unless you this is the only game you play, which I doubt is possible in 2018, 2019. That's just me. Back then I would only play Mega Man, but that's because I had just discovered, oh snap, the series in its as a whole. Like when I first started playing classic Mega Man, because I played X first, and then I played Mega Man 5 because I rented it from Blockbuster back in the day. Yeah, you know it's back in the day if I rented it from Blockbuster. And it's just I really didn't get into classic series until I got Anniversary Collection for GameCube, where you jump with the B button and shoot with A. I'll never get over that. But anyway, it was still pretty good. It was adjustable. What made it weird was it was on the GameCube controller. Like if you did that on PlayStation, it wouldn't be that big of a deal because all the buttons are the same shape and size and whatever. I literally didn't even have to go for killing him because he let me jump over him, which is something Sniper Joe usually don't do. It's character specific. They don't really. Some Sniper Joes have different rules. I noticed that in Mega Man 1. Like obviously this one is a different type of enemy. I'm talking about the standing Sniper Joes. Some of them chase you, some of them don't. I think the only game that they were consistent in is probably Mega Man and Base. Oh, this room is sick right here. What did I get hit by? The fixture falling? Okay, that was clutch because I didn't know they were coming. I'm probably not gonna win this fight either, so don't get your hopes up. If I get a full health bar, maybe. I'm not really good at this fight, but it's still hype though, because he's hype. Oh, I forgot this fight is just standing in one spot until he does that. Oh my god. Oh my god, the voice clip was still there. That scared me. Alright. So in general I think this stage is pretty cool. I already explained why. Great theming. It's just got a hype soundtrack. It's just a likable stage all around. Got great pacing. Like I said, the only things that drag it down are the base designs of Mega Man 11, like stage length and weird uh, rule changes. cool it down. Yeah, there's just so many problems with it. I feel like pretty much what Mega Man suffers from is what Street Fighter Five suffered from. It's just changing what worked and trying to do something new. Though it's not as bad here as it is in Street Fighter. I mean, it still got good gameplay probably, but like this game, it still got good gameplay. It's just like, why are you changing what worked though? What I expect from Capcom is continuity, continuation. This is like a reboot of the series entirely. It's like we're starting all over. Are you a Mega Man fan? This is a new game release, but it's not. It's not a continuous one. I'll go Fuse. I usually don't go Fuse this early. How long are we in? 40 minutes. Got 20 more minutes. Well, unless I absolutely don't die or get hit about anything at all, I don't. I doubt that I get through with the 8 Robot Masters in this stream. But like I said, I'll be practicing off camera or whatever. And hopefully I'll be able to give you guys some good runs of this game. I feel like all the sick stuff, the stuff that's actually sick is not the gear stuff. It's the, jump and shoot man stuff. I'm not gonna lie, those parts kind of suck where you have to wait for the laser. Any waiting in the action game just sucks. There's ways around it because, you got the time stop and all that stuff. Like I said, it sucks in base form Mega Man. They probably didn't bother putting in Mega Man 11 Mega Man because, and I'm talking about Smash Bros. By the way, they probably didn't bother putting him in because, well, you know what? They could have just, they would have had to rework his weapons too. If it was Mega Man 11 Mega Man, like his weapons were too good, so they couldn't really utilize. Oh, I just got yeeted so hard. The guard break is not something I normally use. I just wait for the enemy. That's something that I can't wait on. It's only like a couple of seconds. But with stage progress, waiting on that bothers me more than waiting for an enemy to open up their weakness or whatever. Okay, well, since I wanted this to be a wholesome video on like Mega Man opinions of Mega Man 11, let me go ahead and get the other stuff out the way. Stage wise, I don't think any of the other stages suffer any like exclusive problems. Like I said, most of my issues are with like the base design of how Mega Man 11 is designed. Gears, you would be dead right now. But I'm gonna say the only other stage I have a problem with is probably, I don't know, for some reason Wily 1 sucks all the energy out of me. He's just got so many pits, so many enemies with like bullets everywhere. And I know that there's special weapons, there's power gear, there's time stop, there's all these tools. But base Mega Man had such a hard time getting through all that. Some of the oncoming enemies can be shot and you can still progress, but then there's stuff in the corner shooting you like. And then there's this weird jump with the Metator, I think, if I remember correctly. Like it doesn't come off as instinctive or natural. I tried to get him before he got me, but he still gets me even after death. So there's a lot of sick stuff you can do just based on learning the layout. I think that's why Mega Man 9 was one of my favorites. A lot of the base skills relied on learning the stage layout versus they really didn't have any other thing to offer because stages in general were short. Except Tornado Man probably. I think his stage was the longest. I thought it was Jewel Man, but the more I played Jewel Man, the more I was able to progress a little easier. Even if you wanted to just make them longer than normal, just make them 75% as long as the levels on here. But yeah, my least favorite stages on here are Bounce Man and Wily One. Wily One got hype music, but that hype is immediately destroyed when you're not enjoying the level. I know Wily stages amp up the difficulty. You don't have to tell me that. That's not the problem I have. I have a problem with what's difficult. When you put bottomless pits everywhere without a way to get around it, because when you play any other Mega Man game, there's rush and there's all sorts of tools you can use to get by. It's just there to scare you, and it's there to make you not realize you don't have tools. But you have Rush Jet on here, but Rush Jet is very limited. But Rush Jet does have a cool height tech, where if you nail the jump timing correctly and the dedicated button, you can get the max amount of height on this game. I feel like that's what they should focus on, the tech in the game. The tech with base Mega Man mixed with Power Gear's gameplay, or well, Double Gear gameplay. About doing sick jumps and buster combos and stuff like that. Like have an enemy with 3 lights, or have like a Simon type of enemy. We have to shoot the lights in a certain order. Like that would be sick. That's a little bit too. But like I said, I like combat approaches. Evasion is definitely a part of combat, but I feel like being efficient with your shots and timing them from each other, like that's my favorite strategy. Trying to figure out Mega Man's max rate of fire and using that against the opponents that have like super armor, stuff like that. It's probably gotten old to everybody else by now, but I still like that type of gameplay. Why am I dying right here? This is like the easiest mini boss out of any of them. I think once you start doing the randomized ones, he's supposed to be dead. But normally I would use gears right here, but I'm just kind of pushing myself. You use gears, he won't even get to do half of that stuff. That's what I'm saying. Gears doesn't really teach me the behavior of the enemies. I've seen people just straight up kill enemies instantly with the special weapons. Like, yeah, I like these drop shots and stuff. Why isn't there more of them? Oh wait, can I go through here? Okay, worth the shot. Well, I like I like a game that instills fear in you, but then you can just overcome it with common sense. That's the main reason I like Mega Man games. I should have let him go to the top of the room. In terms of graphical competence, I feel like the graphics in this game are somewhere along, like they're above Mega Man 2 for sure, but they're somewhere in between Mega Man 3 and Mega Man 4. Like the backgrounds are fully furnished. Oh, that's annoying. I'm skipping this. You can't make me stop. What I mean by that is if you look back at the NES titles, they have different levels of graphical competence. But Mega Man 4 was really good in terms of stages. 6 pretty much maxed out what you could do Mega Man wise on NES. Graphically, you got the flashing sprite, you got the multi-layered backgrounds, you got these beautiful palettes of colors. I don't think they fully utilize that here. All the Robot Master themes are a little bit too standard. If I had to criticize the art style any type of way, it's more or less it's not using a vivid palette. Like it's using a vivid palette, but it's like the settings are just like, oh, I've seen this in Mega Man a million times. Like this looks like Sting Chameleon's background. The only difference is there's not trees. It's just inside a factory. You know what I mean? Like been there, done that with the graphics or the graphic settings. As far as the dynamic lighting, characters moving, energy blasts, stuff like that, that's fine. That's actually very great. This is where they pushed it forward because, well, Capcom does graphics well anyway. Oh, I almost ran into him. Oh, he's firing 2 bolts now. But you know what? The disappointing part about the bosses, I would say, is that I don't know. Let me get this out of the way too. We have about 10 minutes left, and I think it's important to talk about. I'm gonna talk about the boss design where it does fail at. Like standardly, it passes all the check marks, but and I'm mainly talking about superhero mode, which is just bad. All it is more damage and less health mixed in with not doing anything to like make it better. And what I mean by that is I'm looking at Mega Man 9's level design changed the layout of the enemies and made the enemies tougher to deal with versus them just doing more damage. They did the same amount of damage, but the level design was more challenging. But and then in Mega Man 10 hard mode did that same thing, but because in Mega Man 9 you got a sense of relief when you realize the boss patterns are exactly the same in Mega Man 9 when you do hero or superhero. It's like, oh, I've done this before. I just don't gotta get hit, and that usually gets you out of it. But in Mega Man 10, hard mode had these exclusive, that had these desperation attacks, kind of like X8 when they get low health. They kind of went the X8 route with Mega Man 11 here, where they get low health and they go into desperation mode, which is pretty much the double gear system. But and then superhero mode, they just start off in desperation mode, which really isn't like that great to me. Like Mega Man 10, they had a different attack that you couldn't like. It was a whole new attack. It wasn't just a beefed up attack or a pattern change with the attacks that were already had. So I'd rather they go the Mega Man 10 route with the hard modes, Mega Man 9 and 10. Like change the layouts. Like just don't have more damage. They do change the layouts, but they do it backwards. They just take away from normal mode on the higher difficulties, and you take less damage. More damage doesn't really make a difficulty. That was in Mega Man 9 and 10. The book of hairstyles was just made you take double damage, but you were swagging. But that's fine. That's kind of like an emote, you know. But it wasn't necessary, you know what I mean, for the actual difficulty mode. That was just you styling on the game, which is a form of expression that I'm fine with in games like this. I was wondering why the book of hairstyles didn't return in this game. Actually, look, I cover everything about Mega Man 11. Um, not enough fortress stages. If they wanted to make the same amount of level, exact same amount of levels, then they should just make the Robot Master levels shorter and make the Wily levels longer. Like I said, you get less is more. I'd rather have a bunch of shorter levels than a little bit of drawn out levels. Like a level could overstay its welcome. If y'all learned anything about Mega Man and Base. has guarding frames. Super annoying. Right here he doesn't, but how you gonna get in there without Tundra Storm? Oh, it's disgusting. Okay, he didn't have that much health to be honest. I've seen a lot more mini bosses on this game with more health. I just had bad timing. Swarm. You can tell when it's out in the open like that and there's nothing. It's Swarm. Sometimes the layout of the level tells you what enemy's coming, like without thinking about it. There should be more of that involved in the future games. I'm hoping that if they do make a Mega Man 12, that it's like the Mega Man 2 of the new Mega Man games. Like it's gonna be unforgettable. It's gonna have a lot of charm. Though Mega Man 2 isn't one of my favorites, it's definitely a hype game. My favorite is probably 7. Because like I said, continuity counts, man. You usually stick with a series for a long time and it doesn't go anywhere. Like you feel cheated. And I never thought I had to bring that up in terms of like Mega Man stuff. Oh, you're complaining. At least you even got a new game. But it needs to be criticized in order for it to be its best. You know what I mean? Why stop here? Why not? Oh, don't just get the release. I mean, people are talking about X9, but I bet they wouldn't like it if they wouldn't like X9 if it was designed like X8. They would want it more like X1, right? X8 isn't a bad game, but X1 isn't where the charm and where the hype is at. X8 is like we tried a bunch of new stuff. We made the game a little bit more linear and gimmicky. Not a bad game at all. It's just not. It's not one to one with the SNES games or even the PlayStation 4 games, which has a decent amount of like dash jumping. Like I said, it got patched pretty much. Because Capcom noticed this and they were like, we're gonna change up the dash and we're gonna give them other abilities like guard breaks and stuff. Guard breaks ain't why we play X series. We play X series for dash jumps and wall jumps and ridiculous stuff. You play it for the speed. I tried to shoot him while he was like that. You know, I didn't die that whole time, so I actually he can't walk backwards through there, man. But yeah, a lot. I think what they forgot about this about Mega Man series is that it legit has charm. Not only does it have good game design, it has charm, sound design, movement design, expressions, stuff like that. Stuff that pulls you into the game and makes it memorable. This is really just Freeze Man's level right here in the background. I wonder they should have put in like a classic cheat code that lets you change the music to like Freeze Man. You know how they did Shade Man with Ghosts and Goblins? They should do this level with Freeze Man. Alright, so we're about to hit that hour mark. I'm so glad that you guys stuck around to talk with me about this. With videos like this showing my opinion, I don't know if I might need to edit them or I wasn't really straightforward. I kind of going in between. And we had like some spaces where it was just like, not really doing anything. But maybe I can just put this up on YouTube and then just add timestamps regarding different topics. And if the topic doesn't come up, they can just comment on what I think about it or ask for a follow-up video that's more organized, something like that. So yeah, I just want to thank you guys for tuning in, and those are my general opinions on Mega Man. I won't go too deep into it because I'm not really a good writer or anything in terms of making a review or something. Like as you can tell, I got a certain. I think I have a bias. I might not, because when you review something, you gotta be fair. But I think I did like a fair opinion on this without going too into detail about what annoyed me and what didn't. My opinions are pretty general because Mega Man is a quality product. Mega Man, shut up. Um, but yeah. All right, I want to thank you. Oh, you killed 4 robot masters in an hour. Yeah, that's definitely not. In order for me to get that one achievement, I'm gonna have to do it in like an hour. All right. Santa Claus. It's December 25th, and you lost your outfit. We got you. But yeah, I'm gonna end the stream right here, and if anybody has any questions, I will have this up on YouTube probably today. And any other questions or any other topics, Mega Man related, maybe, or anything in gaming or whatever, it doesn't matter. The point is, these these is like the I can't even talk. This is my general opinion on Mega Man 11, on how it can improve and what it did get right. But like I said, its main issues deal with continuity and the changes to the base designs, which you can relearn for this game, but it's just like, why did you change it? Alright, I'm gonna sign out now. I'll probably be streaming later on too.